for taking out time today. And as we discussed earlier, this connect that we are having today is basically to understand, how your interaction has been in past and with me as a physically challenged person. And uh, like, what are your thought process around like how the interaction with physically challenged people is and how it should be, or anything that was challenging for you, highlights, lowlights, everything on that terms.
Okay. So I think I have a family member who is physically challenged since birth, basically visually impaired, I would say. So I've had a lot of experiences, not within my immediate family, but I have a cousin, who has been not so fortunate like we have been. But I think in spite of that, the family together, parents, grandparents, siblings, everybody has helped her get through. In fact, in spite of being specially abled and visually challenged, she has been able to complete her studies with the help of family. I remember my aunt, reading out answers to her, and that's the way she by hearted. And she had a writer in her exam and a narrator who could ask her questions. She could write the answers. So she successfully completed her 10th standard. But beyond that, because of certain challenges, she could not pursue studies further. But I think, and she did not go to any special school. Okay, she was studying in a school just like you and me. It's that just that she had an orator and a writer along with her for studies. And I think the experience so far has been wonderful. I think her confidence level is pretty high even now. She's 30 plus now, but I think my experience with her is she's just as smart as we are. She does not hold herself back, because of these special challenges that she has, and somehow she is very confident in whatever she does. In fact, today there are a lot of household chores that she does by herself,
Mhm. Mhm.
in the house, around the house. Now she knows everything in the house. Like, if you have to go to the kitchen and ask her to, put up the utensils in their respective stacks, she can just do it in a fraction of a second, just like we all do. So I
Right.
don't think there's anything different between us. I think people who are specially abled are actually blessed and have that innate motivation of doing their best and um, giving it right to the society back and being there with everybody. My experience with her is that she doesn't hold herself back because of this. So I think that's very, very passionate of her that she wants to be there. Yeah, while just like us, she cannot go out for parties. She doesn't like to go out for parties. She doesn't like to go out for travel tourism because that doesn't add too much value to her. So I have seen her inclination more towards the spiritual side. So she does a lot of spiritual rituals, and she goes to the temple. She does fasting, all of that, and she's happy within the family. She takes good care of everybody. She can manage herself well. I mean, she's tried hard, very, very hard, um, to bring forward some or the other medication that can help her. She's tried multiple modes of medication: Ayurvedic, organic, allopathy, acupressure, acupuncture, yoga, meditation, whatever. So we have traveled across the world to see if there is some point of some medication that can help her and get her visuals back. Unfortunately, we've not been successful so far, but that doesn't hold her back from doing what she wants to do. I think that is my experience with her. I've dealt with a couple of others also in and around the family. Just give me 1 minute. My daughter is calling me. Is that
Sure,
fine?
no
Can I
problem.
take that call?
Yeah, yeah, no problem. So one question
Yeah.
before
So,
we
but
move
I
on.
think, yeah, I just wanted to complete that while she is confident, she's comfortable. We as family, or whenever we meet her, whenever we go out with her, I think we become overprotective, we become overpossessive, we become over considerate. We try to pamper her, we try to ensure she's more comfortable. We try to, like, if we are sitting and having food, we'll try to go and serve her something. We'll Everybody will keep bothering her, and I think that at times pisses her off, and she says that, don't make me realize that I'm not as capable as you are. I think she gets furious at that time. I can manage myself. Please don't do this. Don't do this pampering. Don't make me feel special. It irritates her a lot
I can
because she knows
understand.
she can do it.
I
So
can
I
understand.
think being over considerate, being over considerate, over empathetic is something that kills their confidence. So I think we should treat them just as we are. We shouldn't treat them specially. While internally we should be considerate that there may be certain challenges that they are facing, but don't overdo something to again and again make them realize that, oh, because I'm specially able, I'm being treated this way. Why my cousin, why my brother, why my mother is not being treated this way. I think the way you have a conversation with them, the way you deal with them, the way you manage your relationship with them has to be very, very intricate. You shouldn't unintentionally make them feel that because you are specially able, I'm treating you this way. So I think that is something that we should consider. I think that is a challenge that all of us feel. While we are considerate, we want to be empathetic, we want to try and be a friend. At times we may overdo, which somehow unintentionally they may start feeling that, oh yeah, she's doing this because I'm
Oh,
like this. So that feeling shouldn't pass. I think that is something that everybody should be very careful of. So don't overdo. Let them be the way they are. Let them enjoy their own space. Don't ignore them also, but don't overdo.
right.
So find that balance. Maybe you may not be able to find it in the first or the second instance, but later on, it will just flow as you understand them, as you spend time with them. You will understand what are their likes, dislikes, what are their spaces. Also, one of my experience has been is they don't speak up. Even if they have feelings, they don't speak up. That's my so she never comes out with her emotions. I've never seen her expressing herself, her sorrow, her grief, her happiness, her sadness. She doesn't express. She's just the same always. You will not find her extremely happy, you will not find her extremely sad. She's just neutral always. And many a times it happens, and I know it is wrong, when we're sitting in family gatherings, all cousins sitting together, playing cards, playing antakshari, doing this, doing that. These people are somehow cornered away because you're so engrossed with the communication with people who are at your level or just sitting in front of you and reacting or responding the same way, that these people tend to unintentionally get ignored. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh yeah, yeah, she's also here, we have to include her. And then when out of that guilt you try to include her, you unintentionally make her or him feel that you're specially able. So I think we should be very considerate. um, I think, and that is a challenge I have not been able to break or find a channel which makes her feel comfortable. Because when I also meet her once in a year or twice a year, she doesn't stay in Mumbai, she stays far away. Whenever we happen to meet her or she comes to Mumbai, the first few hours we try to overdo and then we realize that she's getting frustrated now. So just
Right.
leave her. So I think, yeah, don't ignore, but don't overdo. Maintain that balance. But yes, I think family gatherings and everything, I have noticed that she doesn't involve herself too much. She sits there as a mute spectator, just listening to what people are doing. Even if you're playing on Antakshari, you're playing cards or something, or laughing, giggling, she'll just clap her hand. She'll just try to show that I'm present here. But she's not engrossed into that conversation. But I think, yes, people in India are considerate. Rather than empathy, I think they go more into a sympathy mode. So I think the difference between sympathy and empathy should be understood, and we should be empathetic and not sympathetic towards especially able people, because these people also have skill sets, and they are humans. If God hasn't given them one strength, God will then give them a different strength altogether. And the strength that they have, you will never overcome. Like we all of us are there, but we cannot work out as much as you can work out. You are a para power lifter, fitness trainer. I cannot imagine myself doing all of that. I think it's all your physical contribution is just maybe 20%, but 80% I think comes from your. And if you're able to think and drive yourself from your brains, then everything can be easily overcome in life. There is no barrier if you think that you can do it. I'd just like to quote an example. I don't remember the name of the person, but I remember a mountaineer who has conquered Mount Everest, and who is physically challenged. I think I don't remember the name.
I don't remember the name, but I recall
But
there is someone, yeah.
I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me
Yes. So maybe you can Google, and their stories are very inspiring. So I have heard about those stories. And if somebody who's specially able, doesn't have feet, can conquer Mount Everest, then what better example do we have?
True, true.
There are so many people who are fully able but have not been able to conquer Mount Everest, have come back halfway, have come back midway, have come back even before starting, just finished the training, started the base camp and come back from the base camp. I know so many of my colleagues, my friends, who have not even, who by the thought of climbing Mount Everest, the climatic conditions, how will I do, what will I do, by that they have backed out. And if a specially abled person without feet can conquer Mount Everest, I think there can be no better example than that.
Right. Agreed.
So I think, yeah. And my experience with you was wonderful. I think for me, you are an inspiration, you are a motivation, and your spirit of living in the moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, living in the moment and giving your best is that not even especially people like us can do it. We can't do it. We sit with our grudges, with guilt, with rebel, with hurt, with so many things in our heart, and we've already ruined our past, and we ruin our future as well in all these thoughts. But I think you people have a very strong mind and very good control over your emotions and your thoughts and your goals, that people can do it.
So a few
So
follow-up
this is my
questions.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, so few follow-up questions based on what you said. So I remember you mentioned that she could not complete her schooling after 10th, right? So what were the
Hmm.
challenges in terms of finishing the schooling?
So she comes from a small tier 2, tier 3 city in India. So that's where my aunt stays. So basically, she's my bua. She's my bua's daughter, and they did not have enough facilities in the college. My bua is not educated enough to help her pursue further studies. They did not find resources to facilitate her with an orator or a narrator. Her brother was pretty small that time, and all these family challenges. And then in the interim, she lost her father as well. So because of all these reasons, she couldn't pursue studies further, and she also was not too inclined about it. So we did talk to her. We wanted to bring her to Mumbai, send her to the school for the National Association of the Blind. But since by then my bua was alone, my fufaji had passed away, her younger brother was very small. So because of all those challenges, she also backed out and said that I would prefer to be with mom rather than leaving her and going to a blind school and studying. So then she couldn't, and she was not too inclined over it. So
And
she
what
did
is she
not
doing
take it up
now?
further.
So what is she doing now?
She found herself inclined more towards the spiritual side. Nothing. She just is at home. She manages, the I mean, her brother's children. They're smaller ones, like 2.5, 3 years old. So she manages them. She helps my aunt in the household chores, and then she's too much inclined towards spiritual stuff. She spends her time, most of the time, in the temple, doing kirtans, doing fasting, roaming around. So now my bua and her, both of the mother and the daughter, they roam around the world, go to various religious places together. That's how she's enjoying her life.
So I'll tell you the reason I asked that question is because at Strentor, we are trying to develop a platform for all physically challenged people, wherein if they want to develop a certain skill set, right, we are able to help them and upskill them with in a way that they are
Hmm.
able to convert that into an earning potential for themselves as well. So,
Hmm.
and in this, we will keep all physical challenges in mind, which includes visual impairment as well, right? So, do
Hmm.
you think if we provide her with that platform, she would be interested in pursuing some passion or some skill set that would probably convert into an earning potential for her?
I am not sure because I've not seen her doing anything apart from religious stuff and household chores. So I don't know how much she's interested. Second thing could be Aditya language could be a barrier for her. She only speaks Hindi and our language. native language. She's not well versed with English because she studied in a Hindi medium school.
That
Because
can be taken
my
care
aunt was it from an English medium school.
Language can be
So yeah,
taken
that
care of
is
properly.
okay. But I don't know how inclined she would be. But yes, why not? We can definitely have a connect with her and see if she can, if that can boost her confidence further and give her the confidence that, I'm not depending on my parents' money or my brother's money. I'm earning
Exactly.
something for myself.
Exactly.
Why not? Why not? I would love to do that for her.
And I'll tell you why that thought came from. The second point that you mentioned, that she doesn't talk about her feelings, she doesn't communicate openly in the family gatherings, or whatever gatherings you have, right? You mentioned that
Yeah,
she
she
doesn't know,
doesn't talk. She only answers to your questions.
right? So I honestly feel that happens when the person is not confident enough to confide with anyone about their feelings. And one of the reasons that it happens is when you are not confident about yourself, that you are providing some value, right? And
Hmm.
one of the primary
Hmm.
things that is related, it is related to, is being self-dependent, because she feels that she has some
Hmm.
level of dependency. She feels probably obliged to accept whatever is happening around her, and that is what kills her confidence.
Hmm.
Now, the reason
Could be.
I feel so confident is because I am managing even my finances and everything on my own, right? So
Hmm.
it kind of adds a boost to your confidence above all other things, that even this is because this is a
Yeah.
major aspect of life, being financially self-dependent. It's like
Hmm.
अपना
Hmm.
पेट में खुद भर पा रहा
Yes.
हूँ, right? So it's a very
Huh.
major aspect which boosts your confidence. So I feel that,
Hmm.
and that is one reason I always, when I speak to these physically challenged people, I tell them the first thing that you should do is become financially independent, because that will boost your confidence like anything. Even if you're doing a work from home job, but if you're financially independent, it will boost your confidence like anything. And that is the reason the first project that I'm working towards is the self-dependency project, right? Making people self-dependent financially, right? Now, what are the other reasons you think might be a hindrance for her in expressing herself, according to you?
I think one could be that, I have nothing to do in my life, but everybody else is busy. Like mom has stuff to do, brother has stuff to do. When she comes to our place, she knows that we all are working. We have kids. We are busy with our own kids. So I think that could be one thing that she may be holding herself back, stating that everybody already is busy with their own stuff, and where do they have time to listen to me? So that could be one stuff because we did start looking out for a partner for her some time back. Somebody who could also be probably specially able, if yes. If not, we were also looking for somebody with some kind of a special ability who, then both of them can support each other and just move ahead in life. But that did not work out. So I think, we all are human beings. End of the day, what we need is we need to be acknowledged. We need to be recognized. That's our inner urge, right? We want people to look up to us. We want people to like us. We want people to love us. We want somebody for whom we are extremely special. All those feelings of, love, care, inclusion are obviously there. And looking at everybody around in the family, having life partners, having kids, but her life has no direction. She's just going around temples here and there. Maybe that could be one more reason. Maybe she has some inner feelings. She has a desire to have a partner with whom she can express things, with which she cannot discuss with us. But maybe she doesn't know anybody who can, share their feelings, who have mutual feelings.
Right.
A partner who can speak her language. However, how much ever we try, we may not be able to speak her language. We may
Hmm.
not be able to understand what kind of discomfort she's going through because of the physical challenges. But if we have somebody who understands, who's gone through what she's already gone through or what she's going through, and their vibe matches in terms of the inner feelings which they've not been able to express, the kind of discomfort they feel, why not? If we can have a platform where she can have somebody of her own community who has faced challenges like this, whom they can just explore, talk, exchange ideas, cry out loud, we would love to want her to do that.
So I would
But
suggest,
again, from the town that she comes in, there are very, very limited resources.
oh, so I would suggest you to connect her to Strentor initiative. Okay.
Hmm.
Because this is what Strentor is all about, creating a safe space for everyone with physical challenges. Talk to each other and, have that platform wherein they can vent out, they can share their problems and everything without being judged.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So see if you can connect her to us and then we'll take it forward from there. On that perspective, we'll definitely want her to be more comfortable with herself, irrespective of the challenges that she has. And she should be able to open up to people and, talk and, explore life to the maximum.
Hmm.
So definitely, if you can
Hmm.
speak to her, definitely connect her to us. That's one. Now, coming to the things that you said that you guys do. So you said like at times you unintentionally overcompensate or over sympathize or overdo things uh, uh, for her, which probably makes her feel like she's probably challenged, and that's why you are doing things that way,
Yeah.
right? So I want to
I'll give
understand.
you a small example to this. I'll give you a small example to this. Like if you're walking on the railway station or a platform or a mall, or we're just climbing staircase of the house, we tend to turn back and say, "Should I hold your hand?"
Hmm.
That's very general for us to do that because we're not sure whether she can see. She'll stumble upon. She may fall down. So we overconsider it, and then she gets. I know I've been doing this for 30 years all by myself. So I will manage myself. You don't have to hold my hand and make others around know that I'm specially able.
Right.
If you go to a mall and you hold her hand, by now she has got that inner feeling of doing it. She knows by touching or by feeling the aura. Somehow she is able to manage. But
Right.
if I go to a mall and I hold her hand, that will make her more offensive.
Right.
That then people will start looking around. Oh, look at this girl. She's blind, so she doesn't like us doing that.
So that's what my question is.
So
What makes you do that? See, there are two
I
aspects
think
of
we are considerate. We want to be careful. We are protect. Pardon?
so there are two aspects of this.
I did not hear you. I lost you actually.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Right. So there are two aspects to
Yes,
this,
yes, I
right?
can.
On one end, you are saying that you know that she can do it on her own,
Hmm.
right? And then you say that you still become overconsiderate, right? So I think
Yeah.
there is probably a minor gap in what you believe and what you understand or what you see. So, do you see her struggling in certain areas which makes you do it? Because I know you have all the honest intentions of helping her, right?
Hmm.
You do not, I understand from your perspective also, it is not in your intention to make her feel that she is not able. I completely
Hmm.
get. But what I'm trying to understand is what is that gap that makes you do this unknowingly? Especially when you know, and especially when it's someone in your family. So you know their capabilities, right?
Hmm.
So what
Yeah, but when we go to public places, or whenever we go to places which we think she doesn't know, we try to become considerate. We want to ensure that she's comfortable. We want to ensure that, around the crowd she doesn't get pushed away, she doesn't fall down. So there's a caring, I think, over caring, or being over considerate about her comfort, that makes us do that. But we know now, she also knows that if there is a mall, she can only touch the side railing and understand that, this is an escalator.
Hmm.
She knows that. While even if she has to press the button of a lift, she'll roll her fingers and she'll understand which is 1, 2, 3, 4. But we usually tend to, if you're going up an escalator, we'll try, should I hold your hand? She says, no, I know how to. Probably she has a count of the steps, or I don't know what she does inside, but she knows when exactly she has to step in and when she has to step out.
Right.
We don't understand and we are surprised कि कैसे कर लेती है यार, इसको दिखता नहीं है कैसे कर लेती है, but she does it.
So I'll give you a small tweak there. Okay. Try to implement it, and that should help. Like, at least I can start with you. So instead of, saying, shall I hold your hand? Whenever you're going out with her or whenever you are with her, in the beginning only once, ask, or say, let me know if you need any help. That's it. And then if she doesn't ask for help, don't offer it. If she asks, so all she should be aware of is that if she needs help, you are there, but otherwise, you let her be herself. So just ask once in the beginning, let me know if you need any help.
Yeah, got it.
That's it. See, I do it myself also. Like, you've seen me, I'm on a wheelchair, right? But I don't like anyone pushing my wheelchair. But wherever I need help, like there were steps in the villas, as you know. I needed help, I asked for it. But otherwise, I don't need help. And that is how it should be. If I know that there are certain places I would need help, I'll ask for it. So just to know that you are available for help, just go ahead and ask a simple question. Let me know if you need any help, and that's it. And that will boost her confidence level around you guys much more than anything else. Because there she has two aspects. One, she knows that she will be allowed to be self-dependent. Secondly, she will also know in case she needs help, there is someone there. So self-confidence and fear of uncertainty both will be taken care of.
Got it.
Like one simple sentence will change her approach, and that will take away all the frustration that happens uh, when you guys overcompensate, or are being overprotective or over caring.
Got it. Understood. Yeah.
And eventually, what that would lead to is when she understands that you guys also understand her capabilities and her need for support in certain areas, and she understands that you guys understand the balance. The other thing that you mentioned, that she doesn't open up, she will eventually start opening up, because now she knows that if she opens up, there would be no sympathy, there would be no pity, but there would be empathy, and there would be more solution finding conversations.
Got it.
There's a difference between having a solution finding conversation and then a fault finding conversation.
Got it. Yes.
Huge difference. And that is what the mindset has to shift to. So that's what we need to do. I feel, right? So that is one thing. So yeah, coming back to a little more about, your experiences with me. So when you first saw me at the villa in a wheelchair, what were your first thoughts? Like, okay, what's going to happen?
No, I think we all felt very honored because before you walked in, we had a quick introduction about you. So Kush gave us a background about who you are, where you're coming from. So we already knew a lot of things about you.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, and I had also read about you because I think on Insta when we were tagged, both of us were in the same introduction, teaser that was there. So I had read about you, and I was always wow, been amazing. I thought that I should take a lot of motivation and inspiration from this fellow who's entering the room right now. I think that was the first. And hence, if you remember the first game that we played after you entered, I chose you as my partner because
Right.
I wanted to have that interaction. It was not out of sympathy or empathy or thinking that nobody will be his partner. No, I'm very honest. That was not the intention. The intention was I want to see how inspiring his thoughts are and how I can be inspired with what common things I share with him. So I think that was the first thought that came to my mind when they spoke about choosing a partner.
I guess I'm
I
honored.
I, I always wanted to talk to you and understand more.
Yeah,
So
I'm honored.
that was my first feeling. Wow.
Right. And then throughout the stay, how was your experience with me?
I think it was fun. It was just as with everybody else. You never made us feel that you're special or you need special attention. I think you also had that confidence of your own that don't treat me differently. Apart from the fact that, there was just stairs. I think that was the only place where you needed help, maybe from moving to the room, to your room, to those stairs. Apart from that, you never made us feel that you are different. Yeah, we did miss you in our late night songs, and we used to talk that why isn't Aditya here? We did not, you did not join us for Teresa. That is when we felt that maybe you are trying to corner yourself from us, or we did have a conversation at Teresa about this, that why is Aditya here? And people thought that maybe he's feeling a little out of the box or something like that. But then we thought that no, maybe because of his wheelchair constraints, he's not willing to join because there
No,
could be
so
sand.
Teresa was not wheelchair accessible. That is what I was told.
Yeah, that's what we discussed later. So we were discussing this internally, and then I think Junaid or Pawan, somebody told us that no, because it is not wheelchair accessible, hence he's not here.
Right.
So
And as far the late night parties go, if I knew that the parties were going on that late, I would have been awake. But I used to go back to sleep thinking that everybody is having a day-long session, and then everybody would sleep, right?
yeah,
And there were times that I have actually woken up and then came outside as well, right? So I think that was just a timing mismatch because the moment I would
could
go
be.
in and then
Yeah, that
suddenly,
happened on the day one, day two, because just like I told you, everybody in the room wanted to be over considerate to ensure that you don't feel left out, you don't feel out of the box. So I think everybody was trying to just ensure that. But over the next few hours, we understood that, you want your space
no,
and
it was not
you
even
are
that.
capable of doing
That's what
that.
I'm saying. It was not even that. It's just that I didn't know that the parties would go up so late. I was
No, not
expecting.
about the parties, even
Ah,
otherwise, inside the den room, we then understood. If you remember the first day, somebody walked you in right from the entrance of the door till the end. But I
right.
think from second day onwards, you started managing that by yourself. Only that corner, table corner edge is something where you needed help to rotate. But rest, I think you were able to manage. So then everybody started giving you space, and I think everybody respects you a lot for what you are today. So
Thank you so much
my
for that.
experience was no different. Whatever I experienced with others, I experienced the same things with you as well.
Right. Perfect. So yeah, I think we have less than a minute left. So thank you so much for, taking time. This conversation has been very insightful. And definitely, if there are sensitization sessions in the future, I might invite you if that's okay with you.
Sure, anytime.
Yeah.
Happy to help.